Hello and welcome back to Random Librarian here on YouTube. Today we are going to be talking about my book buying problem because I recently joined Booktok, and I know I am so late to the game, but I joined Booktok and had the same issue as when I joined Bookstagram, which is that now I have all of these other recommendations that I hadn't seen or hadn't been reading, and I had to buy them. So that's what this video is about. I guess we can start with like ones that I had already purchased because of Bookstagram, but that are hugely popular on Booktok, which is for the most part all of the Sarah J Maas books. The most recent one that I purchased is Crescent City, which is in paperback form. It's very chunky, it's very wibbly wobbly, which I love. It's like a soft matte cover too. I had actually tried to buy this for myself as a Christmas present, so I purchased it in like November, and it never showed up. I had set up mail forwarding, so I was going to be at a different address over the holidays, and I think it just got lost in the mail somewhere, and I placed like find my mail thing with the USPS, and it's still never been found, and the seller that I bought it from on Amazon refuses to believe that like the book has just not gotten to me. So that's a long way of saying that this is the second copy that I've purchased, but it's the first one that I have in my hands, and I got it at Barnes & Noble's. So that should be fun. I don't know when this next book is coming out though, so I haven't started reading it yet because I get very upset at unfinished series. But Booktok seems to really like an unfinished series. I do just have to say that because this is one of the most recommended series on Booktok. So this is from Blood and Ash and its follow-up, A Kingdom of Flesh and Fire. And the third one doesn't come out until like April. So yes, I realized that like I could just start reading both of these now and I'd probably not be done by the time the third one comes out. I pre-ordered it the other day because I needed to get free shipping on Amazon, and it was the first thing that was recommended to me, which is weird because I didn't buy these on Amazon, so I don't really know how that happened. But this, yeah, unfinished series. I like don't even fully know what this is about. I know that like the main character has red hair and starts out as like a priestess, maybe. She has a veil. I don't know, but I am a big fan of fantasy and the internet seems to really like this series. So it's gonna be my first Jennifer L. Armentrout series, my first read from her, and I know she has a huge back catalog, so if I hop on the hype train, it should be good to, you know, continue on with everything that she has written. If she goes on to write a fourth book for this series, something along those lines, while I wait, I can just read everything else she's written, which is great. Then another series that people seem to really like on Booktok is The Cruel Prince. I have the bad habit of just buying the full series without knowing if I'm going to like it. It kind of bit me in the ass with this series here, A Discovery of Witches, which is something Souls, All Souls trilogy. I really didn't like book one, and now I have the other two, and I like feel like I can't give them away until I've read them, but I don't want to read them, so they're just sitting on my shelf. But they're pretty, so at least there's that. So I am about halfway through The Cruel Prince, which is book one of this trilogy. A trilogy, I think maybe with like a duology or a couple standalones in the same universe. And I think it's just called The Cruel Prince trilogy, but if I'm wrong, you can feel free to correct me in the comments. So I've heard about this series for a long time now, either working in libraries or Booktok, Bookstagram, I think even BookTube at some time. And people are very obsessed with this series. And so I know who her ultimate love interest is going to be. If you somehow don't want to read this series, like skip ahead because I just have to get this off my chest. So I've seen this like pitched as enemies to lovers, and it's just kind of making me angry because the disparity in power between a prince of the realm and like a kidnapped human child is so ridiculous to me. Like, they can't actually be enemies because if if his minions murder her, there will be no repercussions. But if she manages to actually hurt him, like, there's nowhere she can hide. She's done for. And also, he's just like punching down. He is very much a bully, like a worse bully than I have ever encountered in real life. And God, I hate it so much. It feels like the embodiment of like, oh, he's only mean to you because he likes you, that we tell young girls that is toxic as fuck and needs to be stopped. So I don't know. Those are my first impressions of Cardan and Jude. I do like that fairyland, whatever it is, and Under the Mountain, the like court, are sufficiently like creepy, scary, based in actual the fae are bad, not romance partners kind of mythology, which is good. It's very different from Sarah J. Maas's interpretation of that. So yeah, just the idea that she's like constantly wearing her stockings inside out makes me laugh. I love that so much. So yeah, I'm like invested enough that I'll keep going, and it is a very quick read. It is in first person, which is kind of a, not a pet peeve, but like not my preference. Well, those are my thoughts on this series, and I bought the whole thing because of Booktok. And they're all actually like pretty short, which is different than most of the fantasy books I've been reading lately. Case in point, Kingdom of Ash. I'm trying to do a tandem read of Empire of Storms and Tower of Dawn, but I just haven't been because that is a lot of pages, and I'm not gonna haul both books with me on the, like, my commute on the days that I go in, because that's a lot of books. So instead of doing that, I've just been reading these and Caraval and Lady Sherlock Holmes books on audio. They're very fun. All right, next up, this is a series, I think it's a finished series. I only have book one, and I did win this in a giveaway, so I guess it's not technically like a book that Booktok made me buy, but eventually I think Booktok would have made me buy it, which is Serpent and Dove. It's very, very pretty. I like how shiny it is. I'm not the biggest fan of hardcovers, but it was a free book, so I'm not going to complain. And then next up we have something that I thought was a standalone, but I think it's actually part of a series, which is Sky in the Deep Vikings. I've not read the back. I've just bought this based off of someone's recommendation on Booktok and then seeing it everywhere on Booktok. But I've also seen that you shouldn't read the back because the back gives away a lot of the things that are actually like plot twists. So I am avoiding that. But I love me some Vikings. My family is Swedish and German, so I feel like we've got some Viking in us. That seems like fun. Also, all of these fun like twists and braids and stuff, I wish my hair would do that. It's very slippery. I have some braids on today, but who knows how long they're gonna stay in. Lastly, I have some standalones. So staying in the fantasy realm, I have To Kill a Kingdom, which is mermaids. Yeah, and princes. And I think this one is actually like enemies to lovers, in that she's a princess of the mermaids and he's a prince of the realm of humans, which is good because like then they're on equal footing. So if they're trying to murder each other, like they're equally prepared to do so and will be protected by their kingdoms for killing the enemy. So that's To Kill a Kingdom. It's very pretty. I have seen this in so many recommendation videos, and yeah, people really seem to like enemies to lovers even more on Booktok than on any other social media, bookish social media that I'm part of. So this one isn't like soft to hold, so it's just like a normal paperback. Same with Sky in the Deep, and for the most part I'm just gonna read these and probably give them away. I have very few books that I've actually held on to, which I have found is not the norm on Booktok actually. I give away most of the books that I read on Bookstagram, or if I know someone who in my real life who would enjoy them, I just kind of like shove it into their hands or mail it to them when they're not expecting it. But there's all of these tags on Booktok, where it's like, show me the first book that got you into reading. And I'm like, the first book? Like, pretty sure that was a library book when I, like, before I have memories. Like, I don't know. And then, like, there's just all of these tags where they want you to have the books that you have read to show them off. And I'm like, I just have books that I haven't read yet. Those are the ones I keep. I don't know. Just some thoughts on Booktok and book hoarding, I guess. So the last book that I bought because Booktok made me, sorry, I just gotta, whoop, is They Both Die at the End. This is both a Booktok and a Bookstagram made me, and now the person who really made me is on BookTube, so that's Greg's library. They seem to really love Adam Silvera, but also just have their heart broken on a regular basis by this author, and I think that is what's gonna happen to me. I cry at everything, and when I bought this, the bookseller like was scanning it, just like, this is such a great book, but you know that like they're not lying on the title, right? Like they die. And I'm like, I know. Like, I felt like she was just like trying to take care of me emotionally, and I really appreciated that from her. So I don't know when I'm gonna be ready for this one, but They Both Die at the End is on my TBR, and I bought it because of Booktok, essentially. So that is the video. Those are the books that I bought because I joined more bookish social media. I've been having a lot of fun on Booktok. Mainly, I take my books on like walks to go get Bookstagram pictures, or bike rides, or every once in a while when my brother lends me his car, I'll take it on a drive, go to bookstores, that kind of thing. I do some of the tag videos. There's lots of like the put a finger down things, which are fun, but I'm very new to it. And if you are on Booktok and would like to be buddies, or if you have any advice for someone starting out who again doesn't keep most of the books that she's read, I would love to chat about that. So leave a comment. You can find me on Booktok at Random Librarians. I think it's got the S on it. And yeah, that's it for this video. I hope I'll see you soon. Bye guys!